Welcome, my name is Mark Treadwell and this is the 15th video in a series of video clips that support the resource Learning How the Brain Learns, and you can download that free of charge from marktreadwell.com. In this particular video we're looking at some of the capacity building tools we require, and we've looked at the role of technologies, we've looked at the role of teachers reflecting on their own practice and keeping records of that in terms of action learning. And in this module we're looking at the role of the concept curriculum. We are really changing our thinking around how we do school, and about 7 years ago we started a project to develop a concept framework for schools to assist them in that process. That was completed about 5 years ago, and that's available for download from marktreadwell.com, and you can download that. There's a small cost for that, I think it's about $100 or so. I'm not quite sure how that works these days, it's a long time ago, but you can actually then order that, and that gives you a framework in a Word document format which you can then edit to suit your own situation. The conceptual framework is context free. We're dealing with concepts rather than contexts, and so in this process here, in the conceptual curriculum, we're looking at how we can build understanding. And that's our key focus here, is to build understanding as opposed to remembering facts and remembering knowledge. Knowledge you need, as we have seen in the learning process. The key concepts across a range of learning domains are required. They're context free. We need effective pedagogical practices supporting that as well. An understanding of the required competencies, cultural assessment that drives learning, and increasing learning agency right through this process. So, a conceptual curriculum focuses on the core concepts. So, for example, in the science framework that we've developed, we've got some general scientific concepts that run across all the sciences. Then we have actually made that into sub-frameworks there around the physical world, material world, the biological world, and the geological world, because there's some quite specific concept frameworks there. The concept framework, really, when we look at that, it's not a 3 to 4 week unit of work. You can't box it into that frame. If we're going to personalise learning and let learners actually moderate their learning to suit their needs, their particular needs, then we have to let them run with that. And so we may have some learners working on the same concept but working at level 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, but in the same context, okay, in the same concept framework, I should say. So working with that concept framework, educators can frame their way forward. A concept-based curriculum is a mixture of direct instruction and also allowing the learner to take control of a large percentage of their learning as well. The internet is incredibly powerful. It provides us with a lot of tools, and I'd hate to think there'll be too many schools out there now who are using textbooks. The internet's not got just a whole lot of good text-based resources, but it's also got a fantastic set of videos there. YouTube is just full of magnificent videos that are inspirational. They really do inspire learners to sort of go, oh my goodness, that's incredible, how does that happen? You know, and want to learn. And that's that whole notion of that front-loaded prompt to push us down this track. So in a conceptual curriculum, we're looking at building conceptual understanding, and like I mentioned, the resource that's created already for this is available, but you can also use the International Baccalaureate program. It's expensive, but it is good as well. Okay, so that's a choice, or you can use the conceptual curriculum from marktreadwell.com. Implementation timelines. We're going to deal with this very briefly here. Generally speaking, we talk about a 3-year process of implementing these pedagogical changes, the concept curriculum, technology infrastructures, etc. And so we start off with introducing the action learning process in sort of term 1 of year 1. We then work on the competencies in term 2, pedagogical practices in term 3, and learner agency in term 4. So it's a hugely demanding first year, but in fact we've found that schools cope with this quite well. Our second year is looking to implement into a greater level the technology to support the learning, making sure that infrastructure is all in place. The second part of the year, dividing this year into 3 parts, is data and formative assessment, making sure we've got our curriculum up online so kids can access that and use that. Our third thing for the year is implementing the concept curriculum trial. So we're trialling this, and once again we're applying the action learning process to it to see how well that goes with the learners and to see how well the educators manage with that as well. Year 3 is about bedding down that concept curriculum. Okay. Producing action learning reports and then implementing the curriculum, the concept curriculum across the wider school. So we'll start with trial groups in the school and gradually grow that as they gain confidence and they also get to the point of saying, look, this really does make a difference. This actually allows us to teach or for learners to learn much more effectively and efficiently. So good luck with the concept curriculum. It is a large implementation process, and it is one though that will loosen up time for you to actually have time to actually manage the competencies. If you want to continue with your thematic approach, you'll find that life is just very, very busy and frantic. You're driving the learning. There's no time for the competencies, and learners will leave your institution not ready to take control of their own learning in the world they'll have to when they get out there into a world post-school, and whether that's university or in the workforce. What we're now requiring of those people who go into those spaces is that they can learn, and they can learn on the fly, and they can learn quickly, efficiently and effectively. So, thank you for listening to this video clip. Hopefully it's been worthwhile and useful. And what we'll do now, if you want to, you can go and read the chapter on this and then read the research references, etc. associated with that as well. And thank you very much.